Hey guys, welcome to TheRedShack. My name Old Man G, and today I'm going to be giving you my brief The Last Dance review. But if you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe to TheRedShack, and leave a like if you can. So, getting into it, my review of The Last Dance. Obviously, for those who have been living under a rock, The Last Dance is basically the Chicago Bulls documentary or slash Micheal Jordan biop, which basically shows the rise of the Chicago Bulls during their sixth championship domination in the NBA. And as someone whose favorite sport is football, I'll just put that out there. This docu-series was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I'm surprised that almost took them so long for it to come out. I don't know whether it had to do with like Kobe or anything like that, but it was great. It was great. 9.5 out of 10 in my book. I mean, maybe I should leave it to later, but it was great. And I think what I really appreciated about it, and if people want, I could do an in-depth episode analysis later. But I think as just a general series review, um, I really did like how it made you could see what every why Micheal Jordan was what why he was what he was. Sorry, um, that's what I like about it. So because on the outside, he's a celebrity, he's a global superstar, he's driven, etc. But you can see in this documentary, what was behind that, what was his rationale behind that, why he did that, and it's because he had that competitive desire and still does to win. Um, the honesty, I think, as well in these docu series is obviously the infamous, like in the last 9-10 episodes, the infamous flu, which was actually just food poisoning, and he confessed to that. Um, the impact, obviously, that the death of his father had on him. And I think for me, one of the best episodes was episode, I think it was 7 or 8, where they win their fourth championship. And it's the first championship that Michael's won without his father being around, who he'd usually go and meet, and just thank. And you could just see him collapse to the floor. And I was just like, my goodness, man. It's just like almost like trials and tribulations. You know what I mean? The sacrifice, the determination that you do um, to be on top. But it wasn't just about Michael, So the insight into players that, if I'm quite frank, I didn't know as much about, like Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Stephen Kerr. Those guys, I feel it was very very um, really appreciated looking at them. I mean, Dennis Rodman in particular, so the background obviously that he came from, and um, just wanting to be accepted, really, just wanted to be him. And I've got a lot of time for like of Dennis Rodman, where at the time, and it's just, I think what's so sad about the whole thing is that like even at that time you could see just how the media was so destructive and intolerant. Yes, I get there were celebrities and being paid quite a bit, but you know the stories, the baseless, the sensationalism. It's not something that's new. It's something that's always been there. And even at the time when you know there was the whole Michael Jordan gambling thing, the stuff around Dennis Rodman. I mean, it's crazy. But going back to Dennis, man, yeah, I've got a lot of appreciation, good guy, and very very good defensive player as well. And um, he really knit into the group, so and became who he wanted to become. So I think that's pretty good. Um, Scottie Pippen, it's interesting about Scottie Pippen because he comes across as a guy who's very laid back and chilled, but there are a few instances in the season where I'm like, dude, man, like why'd you do that? Like, I think in particular, I think it might have been episode 6 where he refuses to come on. I think this is when Michael isn't in. Michael's obviously he's retired for the first time and went to play baseball. This was after his father died, and Scottie Pippen during that season when he wasn't there, he refused to come on and let down his teammates, and then he apologized. It was fine, put it away. But that moment, you're like, man, dude, you need to really kind of um, and then I think his flu incident when he played, when he didn't feel particularly well and costing the game and stuff. So and then the beef with Jerry Cruz. Now that's actually someone I want to get on to. Actually, Jerry Cruz, Jeremiah Cruz. He and Manchin ruined everything, and I can certainly see how this guy with, I believe, small man syndrome really, you know, really. I, I guess he was just insecure about um, his status amongst them, and he didn't feel that he was getting the attention, the glory that should be required to him. And to be fair, Jerry Cruz was the one that assembled the team that did this. I don't think the future rebuild went particularly well for the Bulls, but he did assemble that team. So you should give credit where credit is due. But I mean, to be honest, I just don't get why Phil Jackson had to go. The Bulls could have easily potentially won another two championships. So I think it's really, really disappointing that it had to end that way. To be perfectly honest, because this was clearly a winning team at the peak of their powers, and they could have gone on. A few tinkering here or there. Kukoc, representing European basketball talents coming in, and I think that was pretty good as a shout out to him. And I must confess, it was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty. I thought it was pretty mean actually of the NBA players when they went to, I think, the dream team to the Olympics, and they kind of like made it difficult for him. And it was like, dude, I don't know what's going on with you guys, but it's so I thought that was a bit mean, and it's good that when he did sign for the Bulls, he was a good support player for them, which was pretty good. Speaking of the dream team, I mean, that team, Larry Bird, Magic, Pippen, MJ, to go to them, jeez, man. And you could see the brotherhood and the camaraderie that, it shows how deep it is sometimes when I think you see sport and how it brings men together, irrespective of their background, and they can just bond and just chill. It's just that deep brotherhood that is rare to find these days. But yeah, the whole Isaiah Thomas, how everyone hates Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit's earlier on in the season as series as well. I think that was pretty interesting. It looks like they've got unresolved beef. The many rivals of Micheal Jordan are coming up. Obviously, Magic was there, Charles Barkley was there, obviously Isaiah Thomas was there, Earwing was there. So there's so many different people to come up and really and try and challenge him. Um, for his throne, for his hill. But he said, if you're going to come and challenge it, you've got to knock me off. So that was cool. I mean, honorable mentions. I mean, again, Stephen Kerr, and I think it was nice to see in like the penultimate episode a bit more about him, and obviously the fact that he lost his dad as well, and the sort of tussle between him and Michael, but that eventually stopped for himself and respect himself, and you could see the impact that obviously he had in that team. But what can I say? I think it was a brilliant, brilliant series. It shows you what it takes to be a champion, the stuff that you don't actually see, the hard work, the grit, the determination, the training, and so on. Yes, okay, of course they live. They got a lot of money, and Michael Jordan had a lot of money, but I mean, you know, the determination to get to where he want, and the suffering they had to go through at times, to get there, was immense, and it just seemed to show that he just wanted other people to want it as badly as he did, not to just come and just say we're Bulls, we'll just play around and we'll get there. He just wanted people to win it just as much as he wanted to win, and you've got to respect him for that. So yeah, that's my view. I think it was a brilliant, brilliant series. I'd wish they could make further seasons of it, but obviously they can't because of the nature of the series. I wonder whether they might look at Kobe's Lakers. Who knows? But yeah, brilliant, brilliant series, and much, much love to MJ and the Chicago Bulls. If you like what you hear, please like, share, and subscribe to The Red Shack. Think about leaving a comment below. Have a nice day, guys, and cheers.